It's an illicit drug making a comeback and making headlines, sadly, with news that Glee actor Corey Monteith died from an overdose of heroin and alcohol. Michael Walsh is the president and CEO of the National Association of Addiction Treatment Providers. Sir, thank you for being with us. I read something about this a few months ago. How big a problem is it becoming? We're going to put up a few points that you wanted to make to our audience. Let's put them up right now. You talked in part about heroin being more addictive and less expensive. Talk a little bit about that and how you see the problem in the overview.
Well, it is. It's becoming. What's old is new again. Heroin is coming back. You know, we've done a great job, especially in Florida, of cracking down on the prescription drug problem with all the pain clinics. Unfortunately, what that's done is opened up a market for heroin.
So people can't find that because of the crackdown on prescription drugs, so they're turning to heroin.
Turning to heroin. Same class of drug. It's an opioid. Heroin is cheaper now. It's in a more pure form than it's been in my history.
How big a problem are we seeing in the Palm Beach County Treasure Coast area?
I talked to a lot of our treatment providers in this area, and they're seeing more and more people coming in. A few years ago, it was mostly prescription drug abuse. Doesn't matter if it's a teenager or an older adult, anywhere in between, they were coming in, and a lot of them were addicted to prescription pills. And we're seeing more and more people that you wouldn't expect to be heroin addicts coming in to detox from heroin.
What do you mean when you say that? What kind of folks? You said that you wouldn't expect to see.
Physicians, surgeons, attorneys, pilots. I was an interventionist for years, and a lot of our clients are not the people most people think of when you think of someone living under a bridge or shooting up in an alley somewhere. They're hardworking family people.
You talk about opiate addiction being demystified. What do you mean by that?
Well, you know, there's so much on TV now, in the movies and TV shows, and you know, some like there's been some movies that have showed the true reality of it, which is horrifying for an addict. Others have kind of glamorized it and made it not a big deal, and people just quit when they want, and that's not the reality for most alcoholics and addicts.
Do you have hard numbers that you can say we saw this many addiction cases last year versus this many this year? And moreover, what are the signs people need to look for, and how do we break this addiction before it really spirals out of control?
Well, we work really closely with the White House Office of National Drug Control Policy, with the people at DCF in Florida and up in Tallahassee, and you know, we keep trying to put our fingers in the dike, so to speak. Years ago, I saw a piece that we had marijuana use among teenagers was down, but prescription pill use among teenagers was up.
But with heroin, what are the signs people need to look for? What can you do to try and break the back of this before it becomes something that's going to be a lot tougher to deal with?
With heroin, it's don't look for the old signs where it would be somebody, you know, not working. People they're carrying jobs. They have families. Many of them that we're seeing now coming into treatment may have gone for a legitimate injury, gotten a prescription from a well-meaning physician, but they got hooked on the opiate. Now they're turning to heroin because it's cheaper and it's easily accessible.
Something we'll continue to look at, a warning sign for our community and communities around the country. We thank you for taking time to talk to us. Something we'll be talking with you about a lot more in the weeks to come. Kelly?